Hello students, I welcome you all in the next session of Strength of Material. Today we will discuss next topic, shear force and bending moment diagram. Okay, in this topic first we are going to study what is shear force and bending moment. Before going to the shear force and bending moment, we had discussed what is stress and strain in our previous session. What is stress? When the member is subjected to the forces, then the member will try to deform from its original position, and that is called as an internal resistive force which is set up, and body will try to resist the applied force. Then what is stress? Stress is the ratio of a internal resistance force set up per unit cross-section area. And what is strain? Strain is when the load is applied to the member, then the change in dimensions we will observe. Then the change in dimension to the original dimension, that ratio is called as a strain. And why it is necessary to do the study of a shear force and bending moment diagram? Because this stresses and strains will develop into your component or a mechanical member due to application of external forces, and it is necessary to identify the value or amount of a stress or a strain which is induced or produced into the component, which is done with the help of the shear force and bending moment diagram. Okay, now we will discuss few definitions, basic definitions of this shear force and bending moment diagram. What is a beam? Beam, it is a structural member which is subjected to the transverse load. Beam, it is a horizontal structural member which carries a transverse load. What is a transverse load? Transverse load is the load which is perpendicular, or it has no non-zero component perpendicular to the longitudinal axis of a beam. Now we are taking example of a beam here. Beam, as we know, it is a horizontal structure. Then the axis which is passing through the center, which is called and the force which is applied perpendicular to that axis is known as a transverse load. Then what is shear force? Shear force, it is a unbalanced force on either side of a section parallel to the cross section, and due to this shear force we can identify shearing of component will takes place from its original position. Before going to the bending moment, what is a moment? We will discuss this point. Moment. What is a moment? It is the product of force and perpendicular distance between line of action of the force and the point about which moment is required to be calculated. It is simply force multiplied by its distance from the point. Okay, now what is the bending moment? Bending moment, it is a unbalanced moment on either side of a section in the plane of a beam. These are the basic definitions which is required to do the study of a shear force and bending moment. Now we will discuss what is applied and reactive forces. Now this force is mainly classified. What is a force? Force is mainly classified into two primary types. First type is applied force and second type is a reactive force. What is applied force and reactive force? Applied force, in the common engineering usage, applied force are forces that acts directly on the structure, that is also called as a dead load or a live load. Means it is an externally applied load directly acting on the member. And what is a reactive force? Reactive forces are those forces which generated by the action of one body on the another body, and hence typically occurs at connections or supports. Means this is the example where we can identify the reactive forces can be applied or applied. Where it is applied, connections or support. Means reactive force we can identify which is act due to the application of one force on one body to the another body, or weight of one body over the another body. The existence of a reactive force we can identify with the help of the Newton's third law. What is the Newton's third law? Newton's third law, which is which states that every action there is an equal and opposite reactions. Okay, that is related to your reactive force. Now we will discuss different types of supports in this section. Shear force and bending moment diagram consists of three different parts: different types of supports, different types of beams, and different types of support, different types of beam, and different types of loadings acting on the member. In this session, we are going to discuss what is the different types of supports. What is the main purpose of using support? Supports are used to connect the structure to the ground or other bodies in order to restrict, refine their movements under the applied loads. As we know, we have taken example of a beam, or we can also take an example of a bridge. Bridge is supported with the help of the number of columns, and columns are used or we can refer these columns as a supports, which restrict the motion of beam or bridge. So restricting the motion, we are using the supports. The load tends to move the structure, but the support prevent the movement by exerting the opposing forces or reaction to neutralize the effect of a load, thereby keeping the structure in equilibrium. Again, it is necessary to maintain the equilibrium condition, and it is achieved with the help of the different types of a support to restricting their motion. Okay, then the main purpose of using this support is to bear or hold up different types of a load acting over the member and the mass of the member. So main purpose of a support is to bear or hold the load of a body or a structure, and it also serves as a foundation or a base of any structure. It is an intermediate member or element between your ground and structural member. To sustain or withstand the load, as we know, transverse load is acting over the member. To sustain that load or weight or pressure without giving any deformation, that is the main purpose of a support, and it is a aid or assistant to any structure by preserve its load. This is the main purpose of using support. Then what are the different types of a supports? We will discuss in details. Different types of a supports may be classified according to the reactions. Supports are grouped into these three categories depending on the number of reactions they exert on the structure. First support represents roller support. Here again, this roller support is classified according to the depending on number of reactions. Means when we are using roller support, there is only one reaction acting on the member. Second support is your hinge support. Second number represents two reactions act at the position of that support, which is depending on number of reactions are two reactions. And third support is your fixed support, and third number represents three reactions acting at the fixed support. This is the classification of a support. Now we will discuss about this different types of a supports. What is a roller support? Roller support are free to rotate and translate along the surface upon which the roller resists. So you can identify from this figure this central portion triangle and these two circles represents your support. It is an intermediate element between your structural member and this is the ground or the surface. Now your surface is perfectly horizontal. Over this surface support is provided for supporting of the structural member, which is your roller support, and it is possible means motion of your roller support is horizontal for the horizontal structural member. Then the surfaces can be, you can classify it horizontal, vertical or a slope at any angle. If your surface is perfectly horizontal, then your roller will move in forward backward direction. in this direction, forward, backward direction. Motion means this motion is possible for roller support, and you can identify in second figure, if your surface is perfectly vertical, this is your roller support and this is your structural member. When the roller moved in upward and downward direction, the resulting reaction force is always single force, that is perpendicular and away from the surface. So you can identify this figure B or second figure for your horizontal surface of roller support. There is a single force which is acting on a member, which is your horizontal member. If your surface is perfectly horizontal, then we are using roller support, then only single reaction is acting on a member. If your surface is perfectly vertical, so you can identify your second figure. In second figure, force direction is perfectly perpendicular to your roller. So this figure represents roller support and the reactions acting on the member. This is your roller support. Then next slide represents different applications of or examples of a roller support. In your first figure you can identify this is the wheel where the structural member is supported with the help of this wheel. This is a roller support. In your second figure you can identify the coordinate system is mentioned, and this is the rollers are provided to support this structural member. So x direction, y direction and z direction. So when we are using this roller support, you can identify only one reaction is acting on the roller support, which is represented by red color arrow Fy in y direction, which is represented with the help of the coordinate system. And third and fourth figure represents the examples of the roller support. Skating board is one of the example of a roller support. Roller support reactions. If we have to identify where is the reaction acting on roller support, this first figure represents there are two rollers which supports the structural member. So two reactions acting at two different locations, first roller and at the location of a second roller. So when your body is inclined to the some angle, so your forces acting on the member is perfectly perpendicular to the support but at some angle, at some inclination. So this is your method of representing the reactions for roller support. Now next type of a support is your hinge type of a support. In your first support we have identified only one reaction is acting. Now in case of your hinge support we have to identify how many reactions acting on the member when we are using hinge support. A hinge support can resist both vertical and horizontal forces but not a moment. Means this, when we are using hinge support, it is possible to restrict the motion in vertical and horizontal direction. Okay, then they will allow structural member to rotate but not translate in any direction. In case of the roller support, it is possible to restrict only one direction. It may be a horizontal direction, it may be a vertical direction. But when we are using hinge support, then it is possible to restrict the position in two different directions. Which two different directions? Vertical and horizontal directions. So it is represented by two arrows, red color arrows. This is the symbol of a hinge support, but it cannot restrict the circular motion. This is the example of a hinge support. Take an example of a door hinge. This is the hinge support. Another example, lever operated. This is also the example of a hinge support. Various supports and reactions acting on the member. First, A figure represents the pin or a hinge support, and second represents the roller support. At the hinge support, you can identify RAY and RAX. Two directions are restricted, and with the help of the roller support, only one direction is restricted. What is a fixed support? In case of a fixed support, we can identify three directions are restricted: vertical, horizontal, as well as the moment, which is represented with the help of the red arrow. Means it is possible to restrict it. This is the example.